As you'll see, Joomla is easy to learn and use, and it's simple and quick to build a basic Joomla website. However, there are a lot of options to learn, and some of the basic concepts of the way Joomla works are a bit counterintuitive. For these reasons, some beginners can get confused and discouraged building their first few websites. The way Joomla organizes and presents content, for example, is one of those concepts that can be confusing at first, so let me review the basics here. In this lesson, you'll learn how content is organized and presented in Joomla, how to make some basic modifications to an article, and how to use the Module Manager to work with modules. The content that you see on Joomla web pages consists of a variety of elements, including articles organized into categories, media, modules, components, and tags. Let's look at each of these in more detail. Articles are the main building blocks of a Joomla website. In Joomla's front end, you can easily recognize an article as a piece of text with or without images. It's usually presented in the main content area. Here on the Learn Joomla site, you can see the Getting Started articles taking up most of the screen space, with just a few modules over here on the right taking up the rest of the screen. The articles are managed in the back end in the Article Manager, which is accessible via the main menu under the Content menu here, Content Article Manager. Here you can create new articles, choose to publish or unpublish articles, and edit articles, and much, much more. Articles are organized into categories, so you can think of categories as folders containing articles. So for example, a category called About Us could contain articles like our company, our vision, our employees, etc. Categories are managed in the Category Manager, also found under the Content menu in the Joomla backend. Here, much like for articles, you can create new categories, edit categories, and choose to publish or unpublish categories, and much, much more. Media is any non-text content. Joomla media can not only be images, but also videos, animation, music, and other multimedia elements. Media is managed via the Media Manager, also accessible via the Content menu under Media Manager. Notice that the sample data came with banners, headers, sample data, and then some Joomla logos, which we'll be using a little bit later. Next, we have components and modules. Components are larger extensions that perform more complex tasks that display content on your site. These are managed via the Components main menu up here at the top. Modules have similar roles as components, but on a smaller scale. They display content as small blocks on a web page, such as search boxes, login forms, menus, footer, copyright information, and more. They're managed via the extension's Module Manager. Here, there are filters for filtering modules, setting the status, published, unpublished, selecting the type. Usually you work with a lot of modules, so you're going to be using these filter tools over here to find modules. And lastly, we have tags. Tags are keywords or terms assigned to a piece of information describing the content of the item. For example, if we go back to our Getting Started article from the Article Manager, and we open it up, over here to the right is a tags area. The sample data assigned the tag Joomla to the Getting Started article. You can delete, edit, or add additional tags using the article editing dashboard over here. Simply click next to any existing tags or in the tag field there, and then type out the tags that you want to add. And press return. Delete a tag by just clicking on the X icon right next to the label. Go ahead and delete any tags you've added, but leave the Joomla tag because we're going to work with that later. But go ahead and leave the Joomla tag because we're going to work with that later. Let's now get a handle on how Joomla organizes content by making some basic changes to this Getting Started article in the next video tutorial.